Reincarnation is the religious or philosophical concept that the soul or spirit, after biological death, can begin a new life in a new body. This doctrine is a central tenet of the Hindu religion. The Buddhist concept of rebirth is also often referred to as reincarnation, and is a belief that was held by such historic figures as Pythagoras, Plato, and Socrates. It is also a common belief of various ancient and modern religions such as Spiritism, Theosophy, and Eckankar, and is found as well in many tribal societies around the world, in places such as East Asia, Siberia, South America, and Australia. Although the majority of sects within the Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam do not believe that individuals reincarnate, particular groups within these religions do refer to reincarnation. These groups include the mainstream historical and contemporary followers of Kabbalah, the Cathars, the Druze, and the Rosicrucians. The historical relations between these sects and the beliefs about reincarnation that were characteristic of Neoplatonism, Orphism, Hermeticism, Manichaeanism and Gnosticism of the Roman era, as well as the Indian religions, has been the subject of recent scholarly research. In recent decades, many Europeans and North Americans have developed an interest in reincarnation. Contemporary films, books, and popular songs frequently mention reincarnation. Conceptual definitions. The word reincarnation derives from Latin, literally meaning entering the flesh again. The Greek equivalent metempsychosis roughly corresponds to the common English phrase transmigration of the soul, and also usually connotes reincarnation after death, as either human, animal, though emphasizing the continuity of the soul, not the flesh. The term has been used by modern philosophers such as Kurt Gödel and has entered the English language. Another Greek term sometimes used synonymously is palingenesis, being born again. There is no word corresponding exactly to the English terms rebirth, metempsychosis, transmigration, or reincarnation in the traditional languages of Pali and Sanskrit. The entire universal process that gives rise to the cycle of death and rebirth, governed by karma, is referred to as samsara, while the state one is born into, the individual process of being born or coming into the world in any way, is referred to simply as birth. Devas may also die and live again. Here the term reincarnation is not strictly applicable, yet Hindu gods are said to have reincarnated. Lord Vishnu is known for his 10 incarnations, the Dashavatars. Celtic religion seems to have had reincarnating gods also. Many Christians regard Jesus as a divine incarnation. Some Christians and Muslims believe he and some prophets may incarnate again. Most Christians, however, believe that Jesus will come again in the second coming at the end of the world, although this is not a reincarnation. Some Gulat Shia Muslim sects also regard their founders as in some special sense divine incarnations. Philosophical and religious beliefs regarding the existence or non-existence of an unchanging self have a direct bearing on how reincarnation is viewed within a given tradition. The Buddha lived at a time of great philosophical creativity in India when many conceptions of the nature of life and death were proposed. Some were materialist, holding that there was no existence and that the self is annihilated upon death. Others believed in a form of cyclic existence, where a being is born, lives, dies and then is reborn, but in the context of a type of determinism or fatalism in which karma played no role. Others were eternalists, postulating an eternally existent self or soul comparable to that in Judaic monotheism. The Atman survives death and reincarnates as another living being, based on its karmic inheritance. This is the idea that has become dominant in modern Hinduism. The Buddhist concept of reincarnation differs from others in that there is no eternal soul, spirit, or self, but only a stream of consciousness that links life with life. The actual process of change from one life to the next is called punarbhava or punabhava, literally, becoming again, or more briefly bhava. becoming, and some English-speaking Buddhists prefer the term rebirth, or re-becoming, to render this term, as they take reincarnation to imply a fixed entity that is reborn. Popular Jain cosmology and Buddhist cosmology, as well as a number of schools of Hinduism, posit rebirth in many worlds and in varied forms. In Buddhist tradition, the process occurs across 5 or 6 realms of existence, including the human, any kind of animal, and several types of supernatural being. It is said in Tibetan Buddhism that it is very rare for a person to be reborn in the immediate next life as a human. Gilgal Neshama or Gilgal-i-Ha Neshama refers to the concept of reincarnation in Kabbalistic Judaism, found in much Yiddish literature among Ashkenazi Jews. Gilgal means cycle, and Neshamot is souls. Version of Kabbalistic reincarnation says that humans reincarnate only to humans and to the same sex only, men to men, women to women. The equivalent Arabic term is tanasuk. The belief is found among Shia Gulat Muslim sects.